Hello and welcome to Failing at Reading the News, episode number 169. In the chat, there's TC. Hello, TC.
TC!
Hello.
And hello, Red Feather.
Hello, Red Feather, sweetie. How are you?
I don't know how much of this is going to be me reading or just me ranting about this shit. But we'll see.
Little column
We'll
A,
see.
little column B.
Yeah. Pretty standard, really. I'm doing this because, to be honest, I'm fucking... I need to get this off my chest at some point. You know, this...
So is it like a gnawing? Is it a gnawing feeling, or is it a "oh, I am so sick of this shit" feeling?
Little column A, little column B. It's been racking in my brain since the lockdown started, really, 2 weeks ago. Oh boy. Anyway, how is everyone?
I'm good.
See?
Did get me a new toy in the mail. Sort of kind of a pistol I already had back in the day that broke, but it's a pistol that takes BBs and pellets. And apparently these darts that came with it. But it was cheap and I like getting new toys.
Closing
Not really
parks and
that
open
uncommon.
places in lockdown should be last resort. I don't know how the fuck they can even close these parks anyway.
I mean, where at?
I assume everywhere in Britain, I guess, by the looks of it. So you're just comparing news stories from all over the world. No, what I'm doing is I'm trying to... my idea originally was to like try and build a case as to why I think this has been fucking beyond... beyond an
2%,
overreaction.
2% death rate.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
I don't think it wouldn't really be that hard to close them. I mean, back during the Obama years, he actually managed to, during one of them government shutdowns, he actually managed to close all the national parks in America. So,
yeah, but a national park is different from just a public park, though. That's the thing.
True. I don't think anything. I don't know. We're talking mainly Britain, so a couple lines of "do not cross" tape, and the Brits will just think they're in a queue.
Give it 5 seconds, someone will have ripped it. Hello, Dangerous Freedom. Haven't seen you around here for a while. Yes, we're all gonna die. We've what we have done is we've all given up our freedom to the government, and it's gonna backfire on us badly.
I don't remember where I made this comment, but seriously, we are locked down for a disease that I've had farts deadlier than.
Yeah, well, maybe not all of us. Well, yeah, Freedom, you're lucky because you have guns. You're fine.
I don't have guns.
Well, I think the big problem is when it comes to the numbers and all. I've noticed there's absolutely zero consistency across the board anywhere as far as how they're counting people who are infected, how they're counting people who died from it, how they're counting people who actually lived from it.
How they're counting the deaths as well, because I know Italy they have the way they count deaths is they count deaths like people who just happen to have it and died, as opposed to dying from it.
Dude gets corona, walks out, gets hit by a bus. That's a corona death right there.
Yeah. Hello, random
Well,
curse.
in the same sense, take like the U.S. over the last few weeks. There's been that major shortage of actually testing kits, and just the limited ability or limited amount of testing capacity that we have for it. One thing that was happening a lot was, they were rationing the actual testing, and if it was not verified by the test before you died, you were not counted as a COVID person. Now, they're actually kind of saying that in New York they may have adopted that, which is why the death rate is going down. Now, over a few days, yeah, it ain't but a 30 number difference, but it's still a difference, and they're still counting it as a win.
Hey, Peter.
Over here, they're saying it's too early for the to say the lockdown is actually having an effect. But then, why don't we look at what's happening in other areas? Like Italy, for example, has been in lockdown twice as long as we have. Two, she also said that there has been an impact. There has been an effect because of the lockdown. So I'm like, well, if it's too early to tell, why are you commenting on it then at the same time? I swear, maybe I'm looking far too deep into this. I don't fucking know. And this is one of the government health advisors, I think, who was saying this.
Oh, I can't. I think it was like Venice. There's a country where straight up the president said, yeah, if they exit their house, shoot them.
I'll say hello, Peter. Thanks for the like. Man gets shot by an affected person, death by corona. Yeah, basically. And yeah, Boris Johnson is in intensive care.
Is that like cross between Trump and Danny Belushi? Or crap, what's the crazy dude's name? John Belushi. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one that looks like me, apparently.
No, not that one. There's a dude who has crazy hair. It was the Philippines that they're shooting people. I think he actually. Yeah, Belushi.
Jim Belushi?
Yeah.
Actor?
Yes.
Been busy breathing, that's why I've been scarce. Yeah, you see, I guess I think you're one of the people that planned ahead. Like if the apocalypse happens, you're fine. Guns and plenty of food. Yeah, John Belushi's brother going to Red Feather.
Hey, Dangerous. Now, Dangerous is not actually wrong. My brother's been teasing me for being a quote-unquote prepper for years. The thing is, it's just a matter of I can actually hole up in my home. If I wanted to, I could hole up my home right now and be able to feed my wife, my son, my mother-in-law, and myself for 6 months.
And
then after that, I have... Yeah, Dangerous is going to love this number. We're talking, ammunition into the 6 digits. So
nice.
The truth point is, my brother loved to call me a prepper about it, and I told him, "Hey, I like to camp. I like having food. I like having food for when I go camping." There you go.
I think there's a grand total of 3 12-gauge shells around here.
Nice.
And in my country, you're not allowed to own guns because my country sucks.
Don't you need a permit for like the pellet gun that I just ordered offline and guys sent to me?
I'm not entirely sure. I know you can actually. I know you can own a gun, but you have to have a reason to own a gun. Like a farmer's allowed to own a gun because they need one. But the average person can't just buy a gun from a shop.
Well, technically, you can't do that over here. You have to. There's a whole background check. That.
Yeah. Robert Jenrick told BBC Radio 4's Today programme that local councils should be very judicious in taking such a step. Downing Street said the overwhelming majority of the public followed social distancing rules over the weekend. See, is the social distancing thing even a rule, or is it just a fucking you have to, or is it just like a fucking unwritten rule? Because I don't even know. Because I still find it weird. Like, people have been avoiding me like this for years, or I just have or people just been walking past me like I smell bad for a long time, and I've just started to notice it now. Freedom says he has 12 gauge shells but no shotgun. 6-digit rounds versus my non-existent rounds, they would win. Well, you're cursed, so you could just use your curse on them, can't you?
Now, I will not condone this, But I will say that $20 flare gun at Walmart does happen to be 12 gauge. Just saying.
You'll reinforce the barrel, and there you go. I also wouldn't suggest doing that because it's dangerous.
I wouldn't suggest reinforcing the barrel because it's a pistol.
The one London council closed the park on Sunday, saying thousands of people had flouting the guidance during warm weather. Lamert Council said Brockwell Park was open as usual on Monday. You didn't close it very long then, did you?
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, I guess economically, like, closing a park's not really going to fucking do anything, but still, like, I don't know. How are you going to police this? How is that? Mr. Jenrick told the programme he has a lot of sympathy with those concerned that public confidence could be lost by people in power with ample space telling those in crowded parks and those in crowded homes they cannot use parks or exercise outside. Well, how is that supposed to? I thought they were allowed to go outside. It's like, does it even count as crowded though? If, for example, who the fuck's calling me on Discord?
I'll have you know I don't leave the house. Well, technically, I never leave the property. Plenty of room to run around.
Someone who does anyone know who Evil One is?
Evil One.
It's just some guy calling me on Discord for some bizarre reason.
I see him in
He's in
Lords and
Monkey's.
Knight.
I was gonna say he's in Monkey's chat all the time. Oh Jesus!
Maybe that was by mistake or something. I don't know, but either way, I'll DM him after this. Use of public parks should be of least people's concerns. Yeah. Yeah, this is the council's decision. I've been asked to be very judicious in taking that step, and only to do that where I feel it is possible to maintain social distancing rules within parks or open spaces. Evil One is Running Monkey's buddy, but I don't think he is the preferred pronoun.
Can't remember if Evil One is technically part of the Ass Crack team or not.
I think he is.
They do good work on the Twitters.
Hey, anybody who can find anybody who can figure out, somebody else's taste and submit porn to that. Hey, more power to them.
I don't know, if he can get me on Monkey in the morning, I'll be happy with that. I think I'm like the only person with a wrench in that chat that's never once been invited onto his stream.
Well, like he usually says, just ask him. He's flat out said, listen, if there's anybody who, donates to him or, has a wrench or, they talk back and forth a lot, just ask him and, get times right and he'll bring you on.
Fair. Yeah. Even though I think I'm the least deserving person to have a wrench in that channel, but nonetheless. I think it's time. I think that is what motivated them over the weekend. On Sunday, Health Secretary Matt Hancock had warned sunbathing was against the government's social distancing rules, as many parts of the UK enjoyed warm, sunny weather. I don't understand how that's against the social distancing rules when technically, if you stay 2 meters or 6 feet away from each other, that should count, shouldn't it?
I mean, yes.
This is entirely unclear.
I think for the most part, when they're saying the 6 feet 2 meter thing, it's a matter of out in public. It doesn't necessarily mean in private.
But this is
Although
public.
there are,
This is a public park.
yeah. Okay, so that's out in public.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are some states in the U.S. actually that are hinting about you should do the whole 6 feet thing even in your own home.
That's not possible though if you live in a small house.
I think, yeah, there's 10 people living in a trailer because they're white trash, but there is no way. Shoot, I don't even think like 3 people could stay 6 feet apart in a trailer.
Yeah,
Yes,
don't sneeze
wise Alex.
or honk at anyone. Well, that's just common sense in general anyway, Red Feather, so don't know if people need to be told this.
Sunder, to be fair, most of those modular homes / trailer houses, the living trailers, the size is actually comparable to the trailer that I carry. Actually, many of them are actually wider than my trailer.
60 by 10 ish, give or take.
Actually, do you know what they call them over here? They call them chateaus. They make them sound fancier. Even though it's the exact same fucking people live in America.
The Chateau Park.
They're all the homes.
Chateau de Spam.
Oh my.
They're legitimately holiday homes. That's what they are.
Well, some people are so broke they have to live in those.
Yeah. And by the way, Thunder, just for the good reference for that, you said 60 by 10. Mine is 53 by 8.5. So see, a little bit bigger than mine.
I've lived in a few trailer houses.
Ah, crap.
What'd you do?
I just sat there and gave the Clippers ammo. Go ahead, folks. Yes, I just say it. Thunder's is bigger than mine.
No, I don't think Clarky's here, is he? And Peter's doing a Patreon.
Oh,
thing,
I'm
so.
sure Peter's in here.
No, he wasn't. He was in here early, but I think he's doing his Patreon thing. Yeah, that's why I said imagine if people reacted this way to the flu. Not that the flu is comparable necessarily. I don't think this is any deadlier than the flu by the looks of it. This really isn't any deadlier than the flu is. Like, how many people die from the flu a year, roughly?
Oh Lord, I cannot look it up.
Sorry, Green.
I was looking at chat, and apparently I was looking at it for too long, and StreamYards decided that I wasn't here.
Yeah, this is the council decision that I have. I've asked them to be very judicious in taking that step, and only to do that where they feel it is possible to maintain social distancing rules within the parks and open spaces. I think this is what motivated them over the weekend. What are you going to
say? You said Jewish? How'd you pronounce that? Jewishish?
Judicious.
Okay, never mind. I thought I've heard it wrong then. Something about Jewishness or something like that. My brain don't work right.
Yeah, we noticed.
Yeah, that's mine.
Well, the thing is about the flu is the fact that everybody's been the whole comparison to the flu is the people who are sitting here now swearing, "Oh, it's worse than the flu. It's worse than the flu," are the same people who said 3 months ago, "It's no worse than the flu." Case in point, Dr. Drew.
That rhymes. Yeah, that's what happened in Italy. Many people live with elderly relatives and passing it unlovingly. I think people. This may seem harsh, but most people dying in Italy were in their 80s and 90s, so they could have died of literally anything.
Yeah, that's. Basic. Well, that's one thing. Was hoping my stepfather would stay home during this, but he had to go to the hospital, and which makes me worried that he's going to catch it and no longer be with us.
Yeah, that's actually. Yeah, my granny's in hospital right now because she had a heart attack yesterday. I can't go and see her because of this fucking shit.
Oh yeah, my mom had to have stepdad sign the check for the farmer's rent, and basically she had to give it to one of the nurses who ran it up there for him to endorse it to her.
And you know how ridiculous this shit is, right? They're actually testing my granny right now for the coronavirus because she had a fucking temperature. And it's like, well, she's just had a heart attack. I can't imagine having a temperature is that much of a surprise. I mean, thankfully, by the sounds of it, it's a fairly minor heart attack, but still.
Yeah, they tested my stepdad for corona. He came back negative, but then again, that could change. I'm hoping it doesn't.
Could attribute the coronavirus to death when it's actually a pre-existing condition. Yeah, Red Feather, they've done that in Italy. That's why their death rate's so high. So what killed them? Pre-existing conditions or coronavirus? Well, no one really knows. And there's a lot of ways, but there's also other ways the media reports it where they say like someone with coronavirus died, as opposed to dying from it, if that makes sense.
Ah, shit. That got me pop.
What happened?
Well, can't. I think my mom's here. I heard honking. Yep.
Labour's new deputy leader, Angela Rayner, said it was right for all people who have got big houses and huge back gardens to tell people some living while observing social distancing to stop doing so. If you're stuck in an adequate accommodation, then I think people should use the social distancing thing and should keep their distance and also be reasonable and proportionate about that. Speaking of BBC Breakfast, Mr. Jenrick said that no council wants to close parks and open spaces.
I got you some more tea. You see that?
Yes.
If you didn't want to close them, why do you keep doing it then? Hello,
And I
Greensbone.
got you 12 cans of raviolis and me 6 cans of SpaghettiOs. Because you eat the raviolis more than I eat the SpaghettiOs.
Yes.
What?
I haven't had ravioli in years.
They can hear you.
Oh. Oh.
Scotsman in chat.
Okay.
You dropped a Pepsi.
Did you get the mail?
Yes. You got some like that nylon crap. Food. Ooh, and cream horns.
We all like food. What is this? Chuck, I assume.
Whoopsie! Apologies, I had a total meltdown of internet.
It happens.
1 second, I'll mute myself because of the phone.
Yeah, it doesn't bother
Still
me.
not bad considering considering I am in a moving tractor trailer.
Yeah, call Fred Feather. I have coronavirus. I'm going to infect you for the internet. Yeah, this is an absolute last resort and should be because we want people to be able to go outside and have exercise. Yeah, the exercise should be done responsibly in accordance with guidelines. It's not to congregate with other people, to have barbecue or a picnic, but put people's lives in danger by breaching social distancing rules. Again, will it really though? I mean, if they're all perfectly healthy, nothing's going to happen to them.
Well, you know what? I'll say one thing as far as the whole exercising thing and social distancing and all. Maybe somebody actually can finally convince these damn Karens that yoga is not exercise.
Wait a minute, come here.
Well,
Nice.
it is if you're doing that like sweaty yoga. But that, even then, it's that sketch. What do you want?
What are you fixing for supper when you fixing it?
Either the Chinese food or one of them there, like these things.
Yeah, Red Feather. I've been avoiding people for years, but now that I'm forced into doing it, now I don't want to.
You have
Yeah.
food. You have food.
Government restrictions state that everybody must stay at home where possible and only out leave if they have,
Yes.
they have a reasonable excuse, such as exercise or shopping for basic necessities. I bought an Easter egg earlier. Does that count as a basic necessity?
Honestly, technically, if it's food, yes.
Oh, I'm good then.
Is it the wrong thing?
My
a
massive
second.
chocolate egg counts as a necessity, then I'm good then. Actually, wait, you don't have big
here's
chocolate eggs over there, do you?
Yeah,
And the chocolate Easter egg thing.
yeah. What type do you want? I mean,
I think you did.
hmm.
I didn't think you did.
Oh God, Cadbury cream eggs, Cadbury caramel eggs. Reese's has Reese's peanut butter eggs. You pick a chocolate brand, they got eggs.
Yeah, but over here we get like big chocolate hollow eggs.
Yeah, you can get the hollow ones too.
Which it's in my corner right now. It's too tempting. So those are being an adult. It's I can buy my own, but then I also need to exert some self control,
Ah,
which is a problem. Because that's like 400 kilograms of chocolate. That thing.
that's a lot of chocolate.
Yeah. And those wet markets in China have them backed up. Those are abhorrent. Which
Red
is skin
Feather likes
animals
them too. The
alive.
Reese's peanut butter eggs are the same, are the best Easter candy. Now, are you? The question is, Red Feather. Do you mean the ones that are like the Reese's peanut butter pumpkins and little American flags and Christmas trees and all that stuff, or do you mean the ones that are actually the ones like the Cadbury cream eggs?
Mario, what up?
Because either one of them technically are Christmas or are Easter eggs. So
And yeah, the
just
wet
saying.
markets are fucking horrible. Anyway, it'd be more unfortunate if we had to do so and make it hard for people, particularly those who live in flats or apartments in towns and cities, to get exercise they deserve. Suggested measures can be relaxed before long if the excessive capacity in NHS intensive care units can be maintained. Well, that's always been a problem, though. People are acting like the whole NHS hospital is a new, the whole crowding in NHS hospitals is a new thing. It really isn't. There's a reason why in like accident and emergency or ER, if you're American, would be has always been like full unless you're like in absolute emergency. Like people getting cheated in the hallway and stuff like that isn't entirely uncommon.
What do you need?
Red Feather. I know the ones you're talking about.
And Rockwell Park in South East London was closed on Sunday, with Lambeth Council saying, Lambeth Council, sorry. 3,000 people were sunbathing or in large groups that visited on Saturday. Like, it's just kind of a problem if you live in a big city like London, isn't it? How are you supposed to maintain it if you live in a city of 8 million people?
That's
Sure,
too
that's
many
possible.
people.
Like, London literally has more people than the fucking population of Scotland. How are you supposed to police that?
From what I understand, they weren't even trying weren't really trying to police it before this whole mess started.
You know, I mentioned that violent crimes fucking through the roof as well.
No, it's guns that make people violent. People aren't violent on their own.
That's part of why I don't live in a huge city. That's why I'm kind of glad I live in a small town. It has its perks.
I am quite happy living where I am.
So, actually, speaking of London, have you been seeing all these pictures and videos people have been posting up from London saying, "Oh my God, because of all the smog's cleared out because nobody's leaving the house, you can see the Eiffel Tower from London."
Wait, what?
Whoop-de-doo. Because nobody's driving around. No one's driving. No one's burning anything. Everybody's just staying in the house. There's all the environmentalist types are really happy because you can actually see the Eiffel Tower from London, according to them. I don't know if that's true. I'm not in London.
Well, the Eiffel Tower's in Paris, so somehow I doubt it. But
yeah, but I mean, apparently you can see it.
I doubt it.
I mean, it's not really that. I don't know where they are, in comparison on a map. I can tell you right now, I'm sitting here looking at a mountain that I know is about 60 miles away from me.
I haven't seen it personally, but I know every once in a while you can see Chicago from South Haven, either side of the lake.
That's beyond an exaggeration. There is no way impossible. There's no way even fucking no matter how clear it is, you can see the Eiffel Tower from London.
I'm seeing that. I was gonna say I know the pictures and all that are from a building. The pictures are from a building out a window, and you can see the Eiffel Tower. I mean, if it's photoshopped, I don't know. I'm just saying there's posts and videos that are saying that.
That's like me saying I can see Peter's house from where I live. That's nonsense.
I don't know. From what I understand, that part of the UK is actually relatively flat enough to where it's not that much of a stretch.
I guess I'll start now. I can put my phone in my pocket and talk to them and make food at the same time.
I haven't seen you in fucking ages. How are you doing? Things are worth the money. Yes, they are.
Don't open it. It's a surprise.
Okay.
Does it prove the Earth really flat? And yeah, you cannot see Paris from London. There's nowhere.
Well, it's rare occasions you can see. Like I said, it's like very rare that you can see Chicago from the side of Michigan or from Michigan.
So health awareness, that actually is a bit of a hoax they're trying to pull off of me. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was true, but I don't know. Red Feather, I don't think it actually proves it's flat. Now, in the same sense, all them damn oil derricks off the coast of Florida. Apparently, on really good clear days, you can see them with the naked eye. I don't see how the sun between you.
I should really doubt you. No fucking chance.
Anyone want a drumstick while I'm in the freezer?
What is it, chicken or turkey?
Do not tempt a diabetic with ice cream.
I couldn't resist.
There's no fucking way.
It's an ice cream cone.
There's no fucking way you can see the Eiffel Tower from London.
Okay. I'm just telling you what I saw on Twitter. I don't, like I said, I mean, I've never been on, the continent of North America. So, hell, I've barely been outside of the U.S.
I'm doing the Steam things. Otherwise, it's going to take 50 minutes to get food.
I only left Scotland like 3 times in my life. Once when I went to England, once when I went to Northern Ireland, once when I went to Turkey. That's it. Technically, I've never lived
I
here. Anyway, there's much more important things to do. Anyway, don't fucking close parks.
Someone wants a belly rub.
I don't think a belly rub, depending on who's doing it. If it's a whole female, I'll take the belly rub.
Hmm.
Who knows? It might
Why have you
sound
started?
Yeah, Red Feather, you're not wrong. Probably some environmentals that's bullshit.
yeah, I mean, anyone who knows that this nah.
Your nail is stuck in me. Ow.
Oh, there's a cat. Yeah, cat while I look at my next article. I've only been to France and Sardinia.
Ow, ow. Why does that claw get... 1 second. Ow, ow. Okay, I'm going to knock that off. Oh, wow. Yeah, torn up.
Hmm.
I don't know what she's doing. All right, that's enough of the cats.
Yeah. What's the article I had?
He tore me up more than he usually does. Holy cow.
I don't think the kid likes belly rubs. No, I don't think he does.
No, he likes them. He's doing the cat thing where they like to tear the shit out of you.
Yeah, cats are evil. Meow.
You have food. You have food, you have water. Fine, I'll give you attention.
Yeah, zinc protects the cells from viruses replicating. All right. Actually, health aware. You'd probably know this. Am I right in thinking the virus is just as deadly as the flu?
Do what now?
I'm asking health aware if he thinks the virus is just as deadly as the flu. Because, like I said, I honestly don't. I don't think it is, but I don't fucking know. So someone who probably knows better. He probably knows better than I do.
I mean, I can tell you for certain that the flu would be a lot worse if it weren't for vaccinations and treatments that we know work.
It's more infectious, right?
Yeah, and healthware, you're actually right. That's what that chloroquine actually does, is allow more zinc into your cells to keep or allow it. It helps the zinc get into the cells to prevent replication of the virus.
Inaccurate virus models are plunging officials into ill-advised lockdowns. As US state and local officials halt the economy and quarantine their communities over the Wuhan virus crisis, one would hope our leaders are making such major decisions based on well-sourced data and statistical analysis. That's not the case. This is designed to kill the weak. Aren't most things, though? Counter statements made by the media, state governors, local leaders, county judges, and more shall be relied on the same source of online having tool called COVID Act Now. The website says it is built to enable political leaders to quickly make decisions in the coronavirus response, informed by the best available data and modeling. So yeah, you can.
You know what, Health Aware? I wish I could disagree with you, but considering where it originated from, I really would not be surprised. It's designed to kill the designed to kill the weak.
Yeah, kill the people who are a drain on us. That's basically what it is.
Well, I was going to say if it originated in the U.S., I would have said that chances are they're trying to study just different effects of different viruses, but concerned where it did originate. Yeah.
Keep the population young and healthy. That's the way to do it.
Didn't I see a news story like someone sold them a can't China virus that they modified?
I don't know. I didn't see it. It's not really like that.
Oh well, I have
This-
crazies on
this
Facebook,
virus-
so
This virus was actually a modified version of SARS to begin with, from what I understand.
uh,
So,
another crazy I keep saying is this is to cover up the rollout of 5G, which will give us all cancer.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know much about the whole 5G thing.
I think the big moral story from all of everything when it comes to COVID is, dear governments, stop playing God.
Y'all in your lab playing with beakers, and then all of a sudden you walk over to the local market to pick up a chicken for dinner.
Yeah, people can't
Forget
give
the queen.
fucking responsibility for their own shit, can they? They just automatically they just go to the government and say, "Please save us," don't they? The government's more than happy to take it.
And I'd rather the government fuck right off.
Here's the thing: I don't think Boris Johnson is a bad guy. I don't think Boris Johnson is a tyrant himself. But I think what he has done is he has opened the door for other people to do the same thing. Someone's gonna go, "Is that fucking easy?"
Isn't who was it? I can't remember who it was that said that's why the Democrats are trying to get Trump to like lock down the country under martial law, so the next time they get in office, they can basically have a precedent to take over.
The thing is, I think they're already blaming Trump for fucking up the economy.
I mean, when he closed down the China, they're like, he's racist, and now they're saying he didn't close it down enough.
Well, it's also blaming him for fucking up the economy.
The economy was really good until the Chinese got a hold of it.
Well, the thing is, they're also blaming him for the size of the stimulus bill they passed, without realizing that actually before Nancy Pelosi and her crew swooped in, it was what 1.5 times smaller. It was a 1 trillion. Now it's 2.5.
Anyway, interactive
So
map
the-
catastrophic forecast for each state. Should they wait to implement COVID Act guys suggested strict measures to flatten the curve. A closer look at how many of COVID's accident predictions have already fallen short, and how they've become a ubiquitous resource across the country overnight suggests something more sinister. I think also pressure from mainstream media doesn't help with this stuff either. Given the fact it was like mainstream media seems to be acting like it's the fucking end of the world right now.
Pretty much.
5G waves are too big to do ionizing radiation. 5G supposedly affects people the same way a flu would. It's hard to fault Trump how he's dealt with this so far. When Dallas Judge Clay Jenkins announced a shelter-in-place order on Dallas Sunday, well, what was it? This article's a few weeks old, but it's still pretty poignant nonetheless. So, new graphs will with predictive outcomes after 3 months if certain drastic measures are taken. The NBC Dallas affiliate also embedded the COVID Act Now models in their story on the mandate. According to AOC, the Wall Street Journal gets $4 trillion from the $2 trillion stimulus. It doesn't even make sense though, because that comes from them in the first place, technically, if you're going to look at it like that.
AOC was she was fussing about the illegal immigrants need to get the stimulus too, and then
The illegals need to get the fuck out and come in the proper way.
well, she
That's
showed
it.
that she's actually kind of racist to where she's saying, "Oh, it's hurting poor neighborhoods. It's hurting poor neighborhoods." That's
Yeah,
why.
the black neighborhood, she means.
That's what. No, she said it's. There's the thing. She'll sit there and say it's poor neighborhoods. That's why blacks and Latinos need more. So according to her, only blacks and Latinos can be poor.
Oh, there's definitely no rich colored people. Definitely not.
Yeah, wasn't it Joe Biden that said something like that only
The poor, what is it?
the
Yeah,
poor
the-
people, white people or something?
Yeah, poor people and white people. Like shoot, I barely got 2 pennies to rub together, and I'm white as hell.
Yeah, look how quickly we gave up our freedom. Yeah, that's quite sad. And how easily it was done as well. Now I can't even go outside without fear of being arrested. It just because anyone else knows people act like it's the fucking apocalypse, whatever they go outside.
Pretty much.
Fucking face masks and fucking gloves and
Healthware, actually, both of them said it. Bernie had said something similar, and Biden said it at the same time.
I just wear a fucking hand mask.
When I went to the store the other day, like seeing everyone in masks, I felt like, wait, should I be actually pulling out my handkerchief and putting it on as a mask?
And
I'm
why
like,
I
yeah,
think-
no, screw that.
See, over here, I've seen it being compared to World War II.
Has anyone checked on the Jews lately?
Between diabetes and having the respiratory system of somebody who's gotten pneumonia 7 out of the last 10 years, and each time it's a miracle. According to them, it's a fucking miracle I keep surviving it.
What do you need?
I've kind of taken precautions over it, and it's very interesting because my mask at this point is nothing but a couple microfiber towels stacked on top of each other.
Chicken cook.
When I
Okay,
go-
you fall into high risk though.
Huh? Yeah, I'm high risk. That's
What
why.
is that?
That's why I worry about it. But then the thing is, I put that damn mask on, and I'm walking around with that mask in my hat, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, "What the fuck, man? Am I actually getting ready to?" I'm sitting here thinking
You
to
have a
myself,
hamburger.
Why don't you heat that up and eat this? Because I don't like it.
I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Protecting myself from the virus, or going around to rustle some fucking cattle?
It's wise to protect yourself, bolster your immune system.
I'm a diabetic. My immune system is shot.
The headline of NBC Oregon's affiliate featured COVID Act Now data and the headline blaring coronavirus model sees Oregon hospitals overwhelmed by mid-April. Well, are we anywhere close to them being overwhelmed? Does anyone know?
Not sure. I'm don't really do that much of the getting out.
Usually the immune systems need to practice to fight germs. Yeah, herd immunity,
Yeah.
which is something that Boris Johnson actually talked about before, but then I think he went against it. I think isn't Trump still talking about herd immunity or?
I'm not sure.
I do like my immune system though. I hardly ever feel sick. I just sleep for like 24 hours.
Who said they're diabetic? That would be shocker.
Oh, I'm at high risk for diabetes.
Health aware it's pancreatic failure. My pancreas does not make it anymore.
Isn't diabetes pancreatic failure anyway?
No, it's a lot of people call it, or a lot of people who are type 2 diabetic they build up a resistance to it. Or my body just doesn't make it.
That's the case from what I've heard.
Hmm?
She's saying that type 2 diabetics do it to themselves.
Not always.
Uh,
In a lot of
well-
occasions, a lot of occasions they do it to themselves. In some occasions, they kind of don't really. But the people who have always really been big yes, they kind of done it to themselves. The ones who are smaller but then balloon up once they become diabetic, it's kind of hard to say at that point.
Yeah, see, were you smaller or were you just like big and muscly? I assume you've always been like a fairly decent sized guy, but
When I was younger, I was actually quite muscular.
I assume the muscle just turned into fat because of the medicine and stuff.
Well, no, a lot of it was actually, in my case, would have been the hell's the damn word for it? Atrophy.
What's that?
A lot of my muscle went away because I stopped being as active when I started driving a tractor trailer. Kind of hard to go to a gym when you're stuck behind a steering wheel for 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I assume all you want to do after you finish is just sleep.
Oh no, when I'm off, when I'm off, I've got a 2-year-old to deal with.
Well, I mean, like when you finish for the day.
Oh, I'm still up 3-4 hours when I'm done for the day. As I do, when I get back to the warehouse at night, I go out and do stuff.
Yeah, someone just died from a gallstone blocking their pancreas.
Mm.
What does a birthday tattoos required free as ND made?
The hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Required 2, 3, huh? Oh, acquired.
Helfer is asking Shocker, do you want to sort that off by a basic or if not, figure out?
Try that again. I missed that. You're
Helfer was
robotic.
saying, Shocker, do you want to sort that for your baby's sake? If
Oh, I'm working on. I'm actually working on. I'm working on getting it sorted out elsewhere. The thing that trust me on this. I'm actually working on it. When it boils down to it, I've got maybe 10 years left as far as genetics. Coming from the gene pool that I do, I'm fucked.
10 years, so that'd be 53. That's quite young.
That's Most the men on the side of the family my genetics come from, they tend not to make it past 50. Oh, I ain't doing the surgery. I'm not doing that surgery elsewhere. Not happening.
Anyway, both the Oregon and East Oregon also published stories featuring the widely shared data predicting a point of no return. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer said COVID right now when telling her state they would exceed 7 million cases in Michigan. Wait, what's the population of Michigan?
I don't know. I don't keep up on that.
2 million.
Yeah.
Before or after Detroit died?
So about 10 million roughly. Are you telling me 7 in fucking 10 people are going to end up getting this? That's 7 in 10.
Well, getting it or dying from it.
Well, you said it would. The state governor saying it would exceed 7 million cases. So that's like 7 million cases of people getting it. And with 1 million hospitalized and 460,000 deaths, if the state did nothing. Halloween's incorrect.
Hello, gorgeous.
Genetics is just a factor, not the all and end all.
Yo, Ink.
Local CBS report in Georgia featured a Emory University professor urging Governor Brian Kemp with the same point of no return language in COVID Act Now models. The models are being shared across social media, news reports, and finding their way into officials' daily decisions, which is concerning because COVID Act now predictions have been proven to be widely wrong. Cryptic, I had coconut water once, it was disgusting. Also,
What the
hello,
living shit is coconut water? That sounds like some made up bullshit.
It's
Coconut
the
water.
coconut.
I know of the milk, which you barely get any.
Same thing, isn't it?
Also, aware I'm not on insulin. I drive a tractor trailer. If I was on insulin, I could not drive a tractor trailer. Before anybody asked, my A1C is 6.0.
COVID Act now predicted that by the 19th of March, the state of Tennessee would expect 190 hospitalizations of patients with confirmed Wuhan virus. I like how they call it the Wuhan virus as well.
No
So
red
nobody-
feather, I refuse. I ain't going for that. That nasty. Y'all nasty.
Coconut water is yummy, especially with a dash of lime. Coconut water can be used as only in emergency situations.
I agree with Inked. It's yummy with a bit of lime and rum.
Patients, by the 19th of March, they only had 15 patients hospitalized. In New York, COVID Act now claimed nearly 5,400 New Yorkers would have been hospitalized by the 19th of March. The actual number of hospitalizations is around 750. That was this article I dated, so yeah. But also, why is New York hoarding a bunch of masks as well? Because I heard it was like a few weeks ago they were on the news begging Trump to give them masks, and now he gave them masks, and now they're hoarding them. Like, if it was that much of a fucking urgency, why are you hoarding them?
The same reason they were hoarding respirators and ventilators, and then sitting there saying they don't have any.
Well, they're not in a warehouse. They're in a stockpile. Apparently, there's a difference.
I didn't say where they were. I said he was hoarding them.
Oh yeah, Chucker, give the resident alcoholic something to try. Well, you're better than the last alcoholic we had around here. And also, I think the news in New York is also claiming that, like, fucking, is also showing like pictures of the hospitals in Italy claiming to be New York.
Yeah, they got caught in that.
And I was trying to claim it wasn't editing it. I was like, why are you doing
I
this?
didn't. Yeah, I didn't even air my furry blue butt, which reminds me, I forgot to take a shower today. I really need one.
You know what's
Doesn't
really
take much,
bad?
Scott. It'd be-
Truck drivers we are not known for our hygiene. A lot of times, a lot of truck drivers, it goes 3, 4, 5, some has gone as long as a week without showering. Now, that being the case, they still shower more than Green Thunder to Mighty. What the hell?
I forget,
forget?
okay? I just forget. I
How
get
can you-
busy doing nothing and forget.
Busy doing nothing.
Yes. Nothing is hard work. Someone's got to do it.
A long hard
God,
day
Red
of doing
Feather.
fuck all.
You're right about that, and that is so annoying, too. Cuomo and Trump are sitting there saying the same things, and they're doing their damnedest to demonize Trump for whatever he says, while protecting Cuomo for saying the exact same thing.
And yeah, I think Ink is right. Make it part of your morning routine, Thunder.
I'm going to have to start doing it every day when summer hits.
Tonic water has quinine, So does Iron Brew. I don't know what quinine even is, to be honest.
Quinidine? Where is this?
Quinine, that's what he says. Yes, Cuomo is doing a daily press conference, and that's fine, but Trump should stop. Yeah, what? I don't know why he should stop doing daily press conference. The thing is, he's the fucking president.
They complained when he wasn't doing press conferences, and now that he
Now
is,
that
they're saying,
They're complaining. Yeah, I love it.
I don't know why anyone still trusts them. They can't keep their story straight to save their ass.
And Ington Prick saying showering every day will help you. Well, showering in the morning will help wake you up and motivate you.
And showers below a certain temperature will help demotivate you when you need to be.
Yeah, I usually do a shower before bed because it helps me go to sleep. Because I always took shower before bed when I was in school.
See, so showers are weird. Showers first thing in the morning, they'll wake you up. If you've just woken up, if you're up for a few hours or you've been up for like all fucking night and you have a shower, you'll feel more tired. It's weird. I don't know how that works.
The only problem with taking a shower at night is if it's right before my bed, my pillow gets wet. My hair just holds water. It doesn't let go. Pain in my ass.
I used to work on a pig farm, so I used to work on a pig farm, so it made more sense to me to shower at night. But
True.
to be honest, it was more relaxing, if anything. The power of water. Yeah, it's more powerful than fire.
Fire purifies better.
So we get the idea with this. Basically, the cases are fucking incorrect. They're lying. Also, please remember to like and share the stream.
And get Scotsman to sing. Streamlabs.com/opinionated Scotsman.
Yeah, before we get back to my COVID shit, we have some funny articles now.
All right, health nuts. All right, health nuts, help me out here. Everybody freaks out when I mention the fact that I drink almost a gallon of coffee a day. Give me a reason. Give me something to defend them when they say, "Oh my God, that's not good," and don't say anything about the caffeine addiction. I've long since gotten over that. I can't be awake without it.
Depending on how hot or cold my room gets at night. Jen, what
I
are you
sleep
talking
with fan on.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Jen.
Bungling serial thief jailed after using child's ride-on toy from Halford's Getaway. For Halford's Getaway, sorry.
Wait, what? How did he think he was going to get any faster with that thing?
Also, for those who don't know, Halford's is it's a hardware store you can buy car parts and bikes and stuff.
Bless you.
Heroin addict David McGregor, 48, stole the toy from his local branch of the bike shop in Perth. Look at that. just admire the brilliance of him.
Hi, Jen.
I just don't even know.
Speaking of
I'll
which,
just leave that on
now
screen
they
for a
mentioned
bit.
the coffee. Time for a refill.
Really bad service bikes and unchained mechanics. And I think that keeps me from killing people. Well, to me, that's cigarettes. Oh, that guy doesn't know what fucking planet he's on right now, does he? What actually helps blood cells more? What actually helps your white blood cells move more easily for your red blood cells? I was responding to the coffee comment. Just thought I should clarify. Yeah. A serial thief jailed after making a getaway on Child's right on toy he stole from Halfords.
I'm a fat ass. This whole time I thought it was cereal thief, as in breakfast cereal.
No, I mean,
I may be a little bit on the heavy set side.
how or did you just
Confirmed.
make
Green Thunder is the silly rabbit. What the hell?
Just think this guy just goes around stealing fucking cornflakes or something. Just
Yes, he stole someone's Cheerios.
Okay. Uh, he suffered his life. Doesn't need. Fucking hell. Let someone speak, please. I need. Breakfast cereals will kill a little more this year than Corona. I could believe that. Silly kids checks are for pangolins.
Exactly.
A cornflake thief has been jailed after making a getaway on a child's right on toy he stole from Halfords. Yeah, get your nose, Cody. McGregor has a string of convictions and a reputation for stealing cornflakes. Yeah. I guess this is technically Corona related, but I saw it on Twitter the other day. I thought it was quite funny, so yeah. There we go. Coronavirus did not like patrols ordering humans to self-isolate. Any Doctor Who fans here? A Dalek has been spotted patrolling the streets of a small village ordering humans to self-isolate. In a video captured by amused residents, Doctor Who villain passes through the deserted streets while ordering people to comply with the order of the Daleks. If bonus dies
Okay, that's just hilarious.
and as China's doing, that's a scary prospect. Yeah, it's Dalek patrols, yep.
Now, is it remote control or is there a midget inside?
No, actually, no. I seen R2-D2 ones when I was a kid. And there was someone in that.
It's funny how there had to be someone in R2D2, and now there's clubs that actually make remote control R2D2s like fully functioning and everything. What do you need?
Wasn't Warwick Davis that was an
No,
R2-D2?
take this out there too.
You took 2 sips off it.
Or was Warwick Davis an Ewok? Actually, wasn't Warwick Davis an R2-D2, or was he an Ewok? I can't remember.
Freaking
Because I
Care
don't really
Bears that went bad.
Yeah, they're just Skibby 331, that's what they are. And I probably got myself in a lot of shit saying that. Oh, well, I don't care. Fuck it. I could do with some entertainment right now. So, this is the latest creative response to the stay-at-home order after Aberdeenshire police woman created a rap video asking the public to take our advice and you may not get sick. Stay at home whenever you can. Don't go on the streets with your farm. You know, stuff like that makes you want to go outside more. It's just me. The more people tell us all to stay inside, I just think, fuck it. I think we should just not. People hear this. So, thing is, where did you get that from? That's what I want to know. Someone's been really fucking bored. You roboted very badly.
There's probably clubs that build Daleks.
Yeah, maybe there is. Is
Well,
that Stephen
there's-
Hawking?
I know they do for Star Wars, like R2D2 and BB-8.
I guess it gives you something to do, doesn't it?
Yeah. Arts and crafts. I need to get me a lathe. That'd be great fun.
You'd be the person to get your hair stuck in the lathe.
Anyway,
My hair's not that long.
Back to the-
You'll scalp yourself.
Coronavirus batters.
Okay,
US
maybe I do need a
economy.
haircut.
So do I. Yeah, as your brown roots start to come back in then.
Oh, yeah, completely. One second, let me. Do I need to turn? Yeah. That's why is that staying off? Yeah, like Yeah, maybe
You
he's-
fucking better looking at it like.
I can't believe
Like
it's that long and will stand straight up.
a fucking bird's nest, like.
And I try to comb mine.
Look at that. Yeah, back to the shit. Coronavirus batters U.S. economy at 6.65 million filed for unemployment last week. More than 6 million people filed for unemployment benefits in the U.S. last week. The latest official figures highlight the devastating impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the American economy. Are the people filing for this people who actually lost their jobs, or are the people who just can't get money because their job isn't functioning right now?
A little of both, actually.
Wood lathe, so you can just grab wood out of the forest. But yeah, it's interesting that Trump went from basically the lowest unemployment rate in history to now pretty near the highest. It's gotta be near the highest.
Yeah, this is the fucking global depression. We caused this to save maybe a few million lives at most. I honestly don't think this is worth it. Call me selfish,
Yeah.
call me whatever. I don't think it's worth it. Because the amount of people you're going to put out of a job, the amount of people you're going to put on the streets, the people you're going to put into poverty because of this, which in itself is going to cause deaths and things like that. So
Those small businesses that are good for your community that barely keep their doors open, that are now bankrupt.
yeah, and the cost you're going to have to bail them all out. I don't know what the US is going to do, but I think the UK is doing that. And yes, Boris Johnson is in intensive care right now. I figured I'd take your Patreon things on then. See, Jen, you have the link. You can come on, and Peter, if you want the link, you can have it. The economic collapse will be worse than the virus, as well as the government intervention. Yeah, that's another thing. We now, at least in the UK, can't return to our normal lives until the government tells us we can. And I do not like that whatsoever.
In 29 states in the U.S., it's like that as well.
It's more than half the US. Probably more will follow as well.
Yeah.
In the coming weeks.
No, yeah. Now it's not as policed as strongly as it is in the UK, but the mandatory orders are still there.
Okay, you throw shade at my random Patreon pop. My pop Patreon hack, I get fucked. No.
I do know Phantom went to a beach to collect rocks today. It's like a small beach out of the way.
I just, to be honest, I walk along the beach all the time. I've started going.
You
to this fucking-
ignorant cousin fucking hick.
What happened?
I'm not Southern.
Some cocksucker decided, hey, there's a tractor trailer barreling down the road. Let me jump in front of him doing 5 miles an hour.
I'm a Patreon.
How do
don't
people-
wanna-
How
There
do
you go.
people not understand that tractor trailers should be given plenty of space?
Because the ones who learn it, firsthand tend not to survive.
Also,
Yes.
since I've decided not to get a license because of the whole lack of attention thing, yet it seems that I would still be a better driver than 99% of the people on the road.
Fair enough, Peter. There's a lot of time right now, barely anyone is getting fucked. Yeah, I wish I was getting fucked. The only thing getting fucked right now is the economy by the looks of it. Well, actually, no, because I think there's either going to be a very high divorce rate or a very high birth rate at the end of this. Probably makes it a both.
Oh yeah, it is. Especially since they shut down the condom factories.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, part of them, and apparently, I did eventually find it, but yeah, one of the articles I found on the Amazon strike, the worker complained about dildos. He's packing up too many dildos. Those are non-essential items, people, according to him.
I mean, Pornhub's free, so there's that. Pornhub / stay at home or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Some people
He's
need
mad.
dildos.
He's just,
Not me,
he
but
just- he's just mad because he's packing up more dildos and pocket pussies.
I know. I need a new pocket pussy. Mine broke. I did not just say that out loud.
Yeah, future boomer generation work, but all at home. Anyway, the Federalist Department announced a record number of people who sought benefits after losing their jobs in the week ending 27th of March. As long lines formed at unemployment offices, phone lines jammed, and websites collapsed under the weight of claims across the US. And how is this shit all going to get funded as well? That's another thing. Some 3.3 million people have filed for unemployment the previous week, bringing the total number of claims to 9.95 million. For the 2 weeks, more people have filed for unemployment in the last 2 weeks than filed in the last 10 months.
No shit.
Yeah, look at that. Did no one pay attention to
Gesundheit.
mental lessons in school? The US now faces a sharp rise in unemployment in its history, a surge that is already highlighting income inequality across the nation.
Is there any country not facing unemployment?
Yeah, it's literally the entire fucking world at this point.
I'm all for America first, but this article sounds like is making it sound like it's only America having these issues.
Well, yeah, it's based on America, so yeah, like it's from the Guardian, which is a UK newspaper. So I don't know. I guess because America is like the biggest economy in the world. So therefore, if America collapsed, then presumably Canada will collapse, UK will probably collapse, the large parts of Europe. But really, yeah, we're all fucking collapsing at this point.
Pretty much. So when do we start the writer games and what have you?
You know, the best part about all this is I graduate college this year. Please pray for me. I need something. I'm fucked, aren't I?
Well, if the economy does get going, there might be job openings. Or, well, no, that's the opposite. There'll be no job openings because everyone would be looking for them.
When America gets its nipples, everyone ends up with a cold. It comes as the global economy is in a nosedive that is likely to exacerbate the situation in the months ahead. May the odds ever be in my favor. Thank you, Elfaware. Although I do still have an option of a year at uni, which means I do need to kind of fucking get my arse in gear with that shit and actually do the things I need to do so I can get that extra 2 years at uni. University. Because I think I'm going to need them. Because since the market's now going to be even more fucking saturated with people having just lost their jobs and shit. Yeah, we're at the mercy of this virus, said William Rogers, former chief economist at the US Department of Labor. Calculates unemployment at 3.5% in February. Has already reached 17% in just 2 weeks. And that rates for African Americans have soared from 19% or to 19% from 5.8%. Why did they specifically mention African Americans? Like, why did they mention any other group of people?
Because racism.
White Americans, Asian Americans, you know.
Well,
it's just the black jobs, though.
Because the colored folks need help.
That's an old Canadian. So, and since that economy is tied to the US, yeah. With large parts of the US now in lockdown, millions of people are working in retail, restaurants, travel, hotels, and leisure industries have lost their jobs, and the losses are spreading. Oil and gas companies are laying off workers as oil prices collapse. That also means cheaper fuel, though. So there's that. And engineering firms, including General Electrical, are cutting staff as the airline industry grinds to a halt. All 50 states report a rise in unemployment claims, with the largest rises in Pennsylvania up 300,000, Ohio up almost 200,000, and Massachusetts up 140,000. The layoffs were widespread, with losses reported in almost all sectors of the economy, from leisure to retail to construction and manufacturing. The scale and speed of the layoffs is without precedent. Before last week, the sharpest rise in unemployment was in 1982, when filings rose by 600, almost 700,000 in Louisiana. Except it. If China had been honest from the get-go, we wouldn't be in this precedent. They're still downplaying it. Yeah, they are. I don't believe the fucking numbers coming out of China at all. How am I supposed to believe the US has more than double the fucking numbers that China does? Bullshit. I don't believe it at all.
Yeah,
China's
and,
gonna pay for everyone kung fu fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. I don't have that song in my head. They knew about this shit as early as August 1st September from what I've summarized. Really? Have you got a source for that?
I know
Actually,
the official timeline says November, but I don't doubt that they knew about it earlier.
They're saying it first got out in October. Shit, Red Feather saying as early as August or September.
Yeah, I was asking her if she had a source for that. Yeah, according to China, only around 4,000 people have died in China from this. Yeah, massive extra date on that. It's been over 2 weeks since Brandy Barney was let go from her housekeeping job at Doubletree Alana in Waikiki, Hawaii. I like that, Waikiki. That's probably highly racist, isn't it? Oh well. Yeah, the single mother of three has yet to successfully file for unemployment insurance. Whenever she tries to file on Hawaii's website, it crashes. Every time it would just kick me out. Kick me out. It's very frustrating. You have to have patience because there's a lot of unemployment. And so also, when do the checks that Trump's trying to send out come to every American?
What is what?
When do the checks that every American's supposed to have get sent out? $1,000.
I'm not entirely sure when.
Yeah, I keep hearing I'm supposed
As
to
soon
get
as-
1,200.
As soon as next week.
They probably said that last week.
New computer and then pay off some debt.
Dude,
That's
your
what I think.
priorities are backwards. Pay off that debt, then worry about the computer.
Well, it's only $2,000 I owe.
And how much is that check going to be?
True. Well, it's 1,000 to Myers credit card and then 1,000 to Fingerhut because I'm an idiot.
How did you get that much debt in the first place?
Because I got a credit card and things needed buying, and the cousins were supposed to pay me back and they didn't.
The fucking assholes, then. So that's their fault, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd rather not cause drama, so I'm just gonna eat it.
Eat it. Eat it.
Get yourself an egg and beat it.
It's just stressful the fact I have to provide for my kids. I have to make sure I can still pay bills, my loans. It's a lot. Again, it's to save a whole 3 million people or something worldwide, I imagine.
I can't remember who all does and doesn't get it.
Fingerhut is still a thing, isn't it? What's Fingerhut?
Basically, it's something really stupid that was basically you pay you get the item and for extra $100, but you pay it month by month.
Are you kidding? Columbia House and BMG are still a thing. The Columbia Club and BMG Music are still a thing. I saw that in about. That's all. Just
Yeah, the whole me owing Fingerhut is me really realizing I'm a fucking moron. Should have never gone to that site.
China must pay Britain £350 billion in coronavirus damages. Reports call for UN to step in. Yeah, you know what? Here's an idea. Lumber all our fucking debt and all our fucking rent economy from around the world on China. I support that idea wholeheartedly, to be honest. Boris Johnson should pursue China for a coronavirus compensation package worth £351 billion, according to a leading report into the global health crisis. Investigation by the Henry Jackson Society has concluded China could have mitigated the world economic impact of COVID-19 and cited there is evidence that the Chinese government breached international healthcare responsibilities. The British Foreign Aid Policy think tank estimates the spread of the coronavirus, which has infected more than 1 million globally, will cost the G7 group of nations, including the UK, US, and Japan, a huge £3.2 trillion. And that's a fucking hell of a lot. It's a shame to flatten China, but what are you going to do? You know what? Just fucking nuke China. And make sure fucking Jim Xiaoping, what the fuck his name is in there as well. I'm probably going to get my channel destroyed now, aren't I? The report, which is published tomorrow, and has... On you go.
I was going to say I don't know. But I don't know if it'll be, I mean, yeah.
We're going to send the president of China just like a entire shipping container full of honey.
Nah, that's us giving him stuff. No, don't worry,
You
you
get-
keep on watching.
You don't get the joke in that, do you?
Yeah, he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an ancient, beautiful land, but those call me. Yeah. Yeah, see, they've ruined China. Like, they've completely destroyed the culture of China, from what I've heard. And they've even. And the Great Wall of China isn't even the Great Wall of China anymore. It's just a fucking wall that was built in the 80s.
Well,
Like, how does that
technically,
fit?
the thing known as the Great Wall of China is a series of walls that were then connected. And still didn't work. Damn Mongolians still got in.
Yeah, but the point being is that, you know, they actually. A lot of it was rebuilt in the 80s, so it's not that old.
There's also a bunch of dead bodies buried in it.
Oh, probably, yeah. The part we published tomorrow has been seen by the Mail on Sunday, outlined a number of possible legal avenues, including going to the UN, United Nations, and International Court of Justice. You know what I'd like to see? Someone needs to have the balls to tell China to go fuck themselves and just say, right, we're going to put trade sanctions on you.
Trump kind of did that and keeps getting yelled at for it.
I think someone needs to go more just like a complete fucking trade block from China. Because let's be honest, that will have an economic impact, but it can't get much worse than this, you think? This shit's already caused a global recession, so it can't get much worse.
I mean, most of China is slave labor anyway, so should be boycotted.
Large corporations that are basically selling out their labor because it's cheaper, basically having sweatshops. People get fucking shit pay. Yeah, the study titled Coronavirus Compensation Assessing China's Potential Culpability and the Avenues of Legal Response said the Chinese Communist Party sought to conceal bad news at the top and conceal bad news from the outside world. Now China has responded by deploying an advanced and sophisticated disinformation campaign to convince the world that it is not to blame for the crisis. And the world should be grateful for all that China is doing.
Yes, thank you for infecting us with the bioweapon, you ass fucks.
Causing a world recession, causing millions to go to poverty, causing thousands of people to die. No, I'm not saying I have obviously criticized the fucking governments and what they're doing, I think this is a fucking complete government overreach, all this lockdown shit. But at the same time, it all goes back to China. It's all their fault at the end of the day. It's all China's fault.
China.
That's like China lied, people died. For China to freak out like they did, causes concern. They are proud. They do not want to admit fault. Yeah, that's because they're communists. Obviously, they want people to think their regime is good. It's all about appearances, really, isn't it? Do things like that. Don't ever think, they don't people think, oh, China's actually a fucking shithole.
They were wearing masks before it was cool. And for much the same reason.
Well, yeah, that's quite common in Asian countries in general is to wear masks.
Yeah, it's because everyone smells it.
pollution. It's mainly because of pollution.
Oh, where'd I put that?
This is the truth. China is responsible for COVID-19, and if legal claims were brought against Beijing, they would amount to trillions of pounds. Following the report, which was published in its entirety on Monday, the 7 to 15 Conservative MPs are said to have signed a letter calling the government to rethink its relationship with China. The letter said legally binding information healthcare regulations require states to provide full information on all potential pandemics. It appears likely that in its early response to the outbreak, the uphold its obligations. They uphold its obligations. You mean they uphold its obligations? Fucking Express, there you go. First typo of the fucking day. China's rivers are routinely set on fire. The omission allowed the disease to spread throughout the world, with extraordinary serious consequence in terms of global health and the economy. The cost of the UK report. The cost of the UK may be, as Henry Jackson Society reports, suggests is now over 350 billion. I think it's probably going to be even more than that. I think it's probably going to be at least $1 trillion. So they're saying. On the future relationship with Beijing, the letter said, once the crisis has passed, we urge the government to rethink our wider relationship with China. Yeah, I say, fuck China. Over time, we have allowed ourselves to grow dependent on China and have failed to take a strategic view of Britain's long-term economic and technical needs. The Chinese embassy has declined to comment on the reports. Of course, they fucking have. I wouldn't expect them to say anything. In the UK, a total of 4,313 people have died being diagnosed with the coronavirus again. I don't know if that's accurate because if Italy's anything to go by, then the way they count deaths is a little bit dubious. I read further. We still found that dating site for Scotland. Remember the one when he pretended to be a Nigerian king? I don't remember this. I remember some guy setting up a dating site for himself, but then I emailed him live on air, if I remember rightly, a few months back.
I remember that.
Yeah, it didn't work though. He also made fun of my fucking spelling as well, the arsehole. But you can't do shit like that and expect people not to troll him. You know? And the Department for Health confirmed the number of people who have died from COVID-19 increased by 771 on Saturday, including a 5-year-old, 78 on Saturday, sorry, including a 5-year-old child. Neil Ferguson, a professor at Imperial College London, who's actually apparently they're pretty shunned by the scientific community, so they're not exactly accurate themselves. I'm trying to find, I think, a reference to China when I knew I could find. If I can't find it, always archive things. No worries, Red Feather. To help shape the coronavirus policy following a damning report led to initial strategy, which said deaths could rise above 20,000. Professor Ferguson told the BBC, "It was in Saturday, we need to find Scotsman, a lovely, nice girl who has a lovely boyfriend who'll let him hold the camera. Well, that's not what I'm after. I'd rather be the one in the bed with the fucking girl as opposed to holding the camera." I see, if anything, that's your job because you're the one who actually fucking comments on porn, don't you? Don't you work on like porn videos? Yeah, we don't have the ability right now to measure how many people have been affected. This will come with antibody testing, so we are making strategical estimates of that. And those are subject to a certain degree of uncertainty. We think it could be anywhere between 7,000 or up to over a little up to a little over 20,000. Well, that's about 2/3 of a fucking difference in that. How the fuck am I supposed? I don't even know. Anyway, where's the fucking? I'm gonna look at the government's furlong scheme and try and see if I can work out anyway how much is this guy actually gonna cost. Anastasia away somewhere. I'm gonna see if I can find it again. And the furlong scheme is basically like how much we're gonna bail out the businesses and stuff that have failed.
Do you think going out like this is overreacting?
Pull your microphone out of your ass and try that again.
He's wearing a gas mask.
Sort of, kind of. Also, this thing's hot.
Is that a World War II gas mask?
No,
Oh, he's gone. He'll be back. Let's say, because that's a World War II gas mask. He shouldn't be wearing that. That's going to end very badly if he does. Oh, here's one. Time for the government not following their own. Time for the member of the government not following their own rules.
sorry,
I am
hit the wrong button. It's made out of duct tape.
What?
That mask is made out of duct tape.
I worry about him.
I also underestimated how hot it gets inside that.
How would you make that thing anyway? It's made out of duct tape.
Duct tape in a pop bottle
Yeah.
and then spray paint.
To be honest, it's better than anything I could probably make.
I was going to get a painter's suit to go along with it, but those things are expensive.
Catherine Calderwood quits as Scotland's chief medical officer after a holiday home row. So basically, what this woman did was she's basically a medical advisor to the Scottish government. And for those who don't know, well, Scotland's part of the UK. It still has its own fucking parliament that votes on its own laws to some extent. So things like police, transport, education, healthcare, all that kind of shit is covered by the Scottish government itself. Whereas things like foreign policy and defence and budget and stuff like that is still covered by the UK government in Westminster. It's all rather complicated, really. Anyway, so she was the chief medical advisor of the Scottish government, and she decided she wanted to go to her fucking holiday home, despite the fact she was the one that said that we should all stay inside. London just wants their cut off what?
Well, that one dude, like the Maharaja or whatever, is taking an entire like hotel to himself, like hotel resort.
Yeah, does he own the hotel?
I don't remember. It was a news story.
Because if he owns the hotel, then I guess that's fair enough. But
I think he's like renting the entire. Well, if it wasn't him renting it out, the entire thing would be closed.
so again, I feel like this makes me question, like if she's the chief medical advisor, and she's basically flouting advice that she supports, or at least she claims that she supports. But how the fuck is this thing? How the fuck am I supposed to believe this thing is as dangerous as they say it is? Yeah. Why are they doing one thing and saying another thing?
Because all of politics smells of
Bullshit.
I was going to go with the floor of a rodeo, but yeah, that's what I was trying to get around to.
Anyway, I'm kind of glad we're not an independent country, because if we were, and we had the SNP in full charge, I wouldn't expect them to reverse the fucking lockdown. Or at least reverse the fucking control they have over people. At least after this, I expect Boris Johnson to at least reverse it. The SNP wouldn't. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Catherine Calderwood, you're a cunt. Hypocritical fucking cunt, and I'm glad you're gone. Apparently, according to some, England gives more money to Scotland than Scotland gives to England. Apparently, that's what they're saying. I don't know if that's true. Let's see if this is right. If it's entirely unprofessional, this I know.
Shoot, I'm trying to think of other funny news articles I've seen. Can't think of any.
Okay, so this is the thing for small businesses. Is it they can get a grant up to 15 grand. So this is like, I don't know how much this is gonna fucking cost people, but this is just ridiculous level of spending. They don't make these things simple, do they? They really don't. Well, apparently, according to this guidance applies to only England and not the rest of the UK, but that just seems a bit stupid there.
Health awareness, it probably is. I wouldn't know. 80 acres of mixture of wetland and farmland. Great to live here.
It is. Living in a city is shit. I grew up just outside of Washington, D.C. Well, I'll say somewhere between D.C. and Baltimore is where I grew up. And I live out in the middle of rural Virginia now, so I ain't going back.
Yeah, then again, you don't like people anyway, so
I find the whole human race disgusting.
Yeah, but I wouldn't always like this. I'll admit it.
Where's my water?
At one point, I tolerated them.
you can't just stop paying rent, tenants don't. Here's another problem as well. It's going to lead to a rise in homeless people because they can't afford to pay their rent anymore, or their mortgage or whatever. Even though interest rates are like the lowest ever been, I think they're like 0.1%. If they get any lower, they're going to go in like negative interest rates, which means they'll pay you to fucking take money from them.
Actually, I think actually at one point Hillary Clinton had actually proposed that.
Really negative
Yeah.
interest rates.
Yeah, actually.
That's gonna be an absolute.
Oh,
fucking
I did just find out how much the farmer pays for rent to us. I'm not going to say because I'm not sure how much land it. I need to figure out the actual acreage of
How about
farmland.
that's not a number we need to hear online.
True. I do believe it does pay the property tax, though.
That's nice. Don't need to know.
True.
Tenants presume
That sounds like a dick move of me, but don't need to know.
it's a good way to make money, at least. You know. Tenants must not presume the coronavirus outbreak is a green light to stop paying their rent, landlord, the group said. I agree with this. This is people who actually like aren't pay rent and just decide not to pay rent because they're like, fuck it. I can understand that. But if say like it's
Sure.
like
Apparently, there is actually a big call for rise in rent strikes.
So, what are the landlords supposed to do when the tax man comes and demands property tax? Rent strike.
Yeah.
the National Residential Lords Association said the government needed to be clearer about caring about support to landlords and lenders. Same groups have called for struggling tenants and students in particular, given time, be given rent-free. Rent-free. Landlord says this puts the long-term future of rentals at risk. Ben Beadle, a chief executive of the NRLA, said landlords need to be flexible when tenants were struggling financially and offer a temporary break for those tenants in real need. This will allow tenants up to 3 months where they would not pay rent. The payments would be missed. Payments missed would need to be made up through larger rent requirements in subsequent months. The rent holiday should only start after the agreement was reached between the tenant and landlord. This is not a green light for tenants everywhere to stop paying their rent. Landlords themselves can apply to their mortgage lender for repayment holiday of their own if they are struggling as a direct result of the coronavirus. When support was put in place by the government and the banks, it was made clear that any landlord taking up such an option should pass advantage to tenants by deferring their rent. The government also announced a 3-month ban on evictions in England and Wales, with similar plans also discussed in Scotland. Northern Ireland doesn't exist, apparently, according to this. Some tenant groups want support to go much further. The London Routers Union wants a suspension of all rent payments to avoid a build-up of unsustainable debt. But then you're just passing the debt over to someone else, aren't you? You're just passing that debt over to the landlords. Surely it may be helping you, but really you're just pushing over to them. So yeah, you're not helping anyone really. The National Union of Students has called for landlords to stop charging rent to students who have left their digs empty and returned home. With teaching council for the foreseeable future. Well, yeah, if they've already moved out, then they could just find someone else to move in. So I guess in a way that would make sense that way. But then trouble is if they've returned home and they don't come back, then I don't know, it's a difficult situation, really, isn't it?
It is.
Self-employed organizer Natilla Thorin Ferry, who has lived in Oxford for 7 years, lodging in a house. She said a lack of work because events were suddenly cancelled has meant she was planning to move to a hostel because she could live there rent-free in exchange for work. I decided that I'm going to keep my savings and move into a hostel and volunteer for 20 hours a week so I can live there for free. That's not a bad idea, actually. Better than nothing. The landlord says that granting tenants a complete suspension of rent would put many in an impossible financial position. The other airline said there are many individuals who made the majority of their income from lettings and were far removed from the position of big corporate landlords. They face extra costs such as council tax on empty properties and upkeep rather than only facing mortgage payments. The association said that cancelling rent, particularly in cases of students who are still receiving maintenance grants, could mean these properties could be no longer available to rent. When things return to some sort of level of normality, as landlords would have gone on. I completely fucked that up, didn't I? The association said that cancelling rent, particularly in the case of students who were receiving maintenance grants, could mean these properties would no longer be able to rent when things return to some level of morality, as landlords would have gone under financially. He said tenants were receiving financial support from government, such as 80% of their wages paid if they were furloughed. The furlough scheme, obviously, being the government set up a scheme where 80% of people's wages were paid. So how much that's going to fucking cost, nobody fucking knows. That's why when they made the budget, and yes, big deal, Boris Johnson is still in the intensive care unit. I don't know. Actually, does America have a similar scheme where they're going to pay employees of like companies 80% of their wages and stuff?
I believe so.
And obviously bail out any business that fails. So fuck knows how much this is going to cost.
The airlines are going to get bailed out again.
Well, as far as that's how it was supposed to work at the beginning. The way the original bailout was supposed to work, or the original stimulus package, it was supposed to be the employers keep paying their employees as if they were working, and then just submit a bill to the government. The government would give them that money. But now, who the hell knows how it's going to work?
Well, people complained about that because how dare Trump give money to the businesses instead of the people directly, or something like that.
Be right back.
All right. It was a lot simpler of a way to do it. But the thing is, I will say one of the arguments that was given, and why a lot of the Republicans were all right to the change, was, though Trump is trying to help everybody, he is an employer, and it definitely would not look right to, for the government to be cutting a check directly to his businesses. So it's it's not that bad thing of it being redone. The bad thing about it being redone is all the shit they added to it afterwards. They turned a 15-page bill into a 1,400-page bill,
Yeah, that's a load of shit.
including, a pay raise to Congress.
And Trump's still not taking a salary.
It's like $1 or something.
We'll take asparagus, though. That was
With you and
horrible.
What is it with you and asparagus lately?
I don't know. But yeah, that was a horrible pun or
Eh.
joke or whatever it was.
I'm
Asparagus is good, though.
Take your word for it. I cannot remember if I've had it.
Well, the main time I have it is when it's in it's the chicken cordon bleu with asparagus and cheese. So chicken with asparagus and cheese shoved inside it.
Well, finally, Redfeather sent the
Yep.
links, the articles she's found in my Discord, so I've got to read them now.
Thunder, should I mention
I know this is
as far as my
I'm a bit ADHD, but I'm on you go.
None, go ahead.
Like, I know this stream's been a bit ADHD, but I've been stuck inside for 2 fucking weeks. So.
A bit
I know what
ADHD, yeah.
I'm at my wit's end now. I wasn't that sane to begin with.
I've never met the sanity you speak of.
Sanity's overrated. Yeah, well, the alcohol I bought on lockdown day is looking more tempting than it ever has. At least 5 people in China have disappeared, gotten arrested, or been silenced after speaking out about the coronavirus. Yeah, I've got up right now, Red Feather. Thanks. This ain't Kansas anymore. No, it's Arkansas. Asparagus is very helpful for liver function. Yeah, about coronavirus, here's what we know about them. What the fuck? Yeah. Its effects are foreign. Recently posted a scratch interview the way President Jinping and the Chinese Communist Party have handled the coronavirus outbreak. This ain't Arkansas anymore, Dorothy. I think. Fuck knows, man. I don't know.
That was Toto bad.
I'm aware
Dang.
of that. They all blatantly stood by as the crucial window of opportunity to deal with the outbreak of the infection slammed shut in their faces. Suggesting the government's censorship of information about the coronavirus hampered China's ability to control its spread. Well, I'm pretty sure they arrested American journalists, didn't they? They tried to report on it pretty early on in December, I think it was. And they arrested them.
Who, China?
Yeah.
I know in February they just kicked them out. Or at one point they just flat out kicked them out, told them to get lost.
Well, I swear I heard somewhere they did that to American journalists in December. It's a text, Arcana. Foreign who teaches at Beijing's foreign university added, the cause of all this lies with the Axelrod. That is Jinping and the cabal that surrounds him. The essay published online on the 15th of February was immediately taken down. Foreign was placed under house arrest, cut off from the internet, and scrubbed off all social media sites. It's not a surprise. It is something that the government disapproves of. You're bad. You must go. Yeah, well, his social credit, his social credit score is going to be quite low. China also has that fucking social credit system, don't they?
Hmm.
It's
Well, now
critique-
we know what happens when your score goes down.
Was it something like 20 million Chinese people have suddenly not wanted phone service anymore? That's a thing.
Yep. All just disappeared overnight, don't you know? His critique came 3 days after Wuhan doctor Lai, fuck knows, Wen Lang died of coronavirus. Li had sent a message to a group of medical school alumni warning them about a new mysterious illness. But local police reported reprimanded and silenced. I don't understand how why did they cover it up though? This has made them look fucking way worse than the fucking disease. If they kicked all outside journalists out. I'm surprised they even let outside journalists in to begin with anyway. In addition to Li and Zhao, at least 3 citizen journalists have disappeared or were arrested for sharing information about the outbreak on social media. Here's what we know about 5 of them. A friend of Zhao told The Guardian that Professor was placed under house arrest after he returned to Beijing following the Lunar New Year celebration, where 20 million cell phones have gone offline in China. Yeah, that's pretty dodgy. Yeah, they confined him at home under the pretext that he had to be quarantined after the trip. The friend said he was under de facto house arrest and all his movements were restricted. So, like the rest of us, then. What's China's idea? Let's just make the rest of the world like fucking China. Guardian reported the guards were patrolling Zhao's home last week, though they have since less. He remains income. I don't fucking know. I can't read. The law professor named notably absent from China's Weibo social network. His access to the internet has been cut off, and his social media account on China's WeChat messaging platform was shut down. According to The Guardian, many of his friends have been unable to get in touch with him for days. One professor's friends anonymously reported they had managed to text him but feared he was under surveillance. Probably because he was. He has not directly responded to my queries, but just told me not to worry. Remember to stick to the script, otherwise we'll kill you. That's basically pretty much what he was probably told. His essay ended with an anonymous acknowledgement. Sorry. I can now all too easily predict that I have been subjected to new punishments indeed. This may well be the last piece I write. This isn't the first time he has been punished for speech crimes, according to his essay. In 2018, he was placed under investigation by the Foreign University after publishing another essay criticizing the president. I was suspended from my job as a university lecturer and cashiered as a professor, reduced to a minor academic rank. Adding my freedoms have been curtailed ever since, and to be honest, you probably didn't have that many to begin with. Not in China. Another activist, Wao Ji Yong, published an article on social media this month urging China used this to mop up dissidents from the protests, urging the president to step down. Basically, the idea we get from this is that China's fucked up.
Hmm.
And they're basically just arresting anyone who calls out this illness or even just slightly even reports on it. And with that, I think I'm just going to end it here, actually. Been over 2 hours now.
Okay.
So, did anyone get anything to show?
I'm going
Uh,
on Wednesdays again.
Yay. Trucker Matt channel starting back up tomorrow. Actually, I haven't decided if it's either going to be on the Trucker Matt on YouTube or twitch.tv/pumpkin trucker. I've been kind of digging going on Twitch lately.
Is it possible you could dual stream both of them?
Streamlabs says it does on mobile. I don't know how to do it though. It might be that damn Streamlabs Prime that I can't afford.
Are you ready to be under that mess? Well, Alpha, we're pretty much already halfway there anyway. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Fuck China. Thanks for watching. You're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.